Hello, welcome to our program. Now, you've likely been with us for a little while, and you know that we have a few tricks up our sleeve. We show you amazing content that's helpful and that you can use right away. Today, we're thrilled to introduce you to the MyCoach tools. What are these and how did they come about? You've been with us and you've been seeing us create very fun content with lots of guests that have specific ideas on things that you can do for yourself. We call these tools. And today we're showing you how we've put all of these together so that you can go and find a tool for something that you need in your life and in your work. So let me demonstrate. This is our website. And you can go there anytime you like at mycoach.zone. I will just highlight it here. You can go to mycoach.zone anytime you like. And there you will see at the very top what our partners say about us. And then you'll see a few videos and some write-ups. But when you scroll down, you'll see that this is the home of MyCoach tools. What are MyCoach tools? What is this about? We have studied the people that we have coached and figured out what it is that people most want coaching on in their business and in their life. So these are the main categories that people say they want coaching on. Let me highlight these and then show you how we give you tools in each of these categories. The first is become a phenomenal manager. A lot of the people that we coach, as you see, about 32% of the people that we coach, they really care about, as this question asks, how can I get better at motivating, giving feedback, matching people to their work, having productive conflict, keeping my team engaged? So you will see tools that specifically speak to this. And in fact, you've got two ways to get there. I'm sort of giving you a preview. You can click through here to get there, and you'll get to just become a phenomenal manager. Or you can go to this fancy schmancy up in our upper corner, the tools menu. This is our big announcement, and I know I'm doing it a little bit over the top, but we're thrilled and excited by this. This is where you can go and see specific things that you may care about. So if you come to our website, here you are at our website, and you click on the tools menu, then you can click on those things that matter to you. For example, let's say that you're finding it hard to motivate yourself. You click here, and you see all of the past tools that coaches have submitted. For example, this is an interview between myself and Kathryn. Here's somewhat content on effortful versus effortless. You'll see lots of different videos of coaches giving you specific advice on that which you just asked about. So before I bring in our special guest, I'd just like to give you the summary that here you are, you come to the main page, and these are the 5 main categories that people want to be coached on. Becoming a phenomenal manager, so that may be your question. Advancing your own career, whether you're at a big company or on your own, how can you build your skills and executive presence and other things? Let me show you the remaining 3. Increasing your business impact. People care a lot about this in coaching as well. Being your best. This can be about everything that has to do with how you can be better at your work, but with the things that you control by yourself. And then we have this more category, which is a lot about managing a global team, women in leadership, racial equity. So please come and play around with our fun little pie chart here, or jump right on up and choose the category that you most care about between all of these, including we'll have a little description of the work from home toolkit. So in summary, come to our page, get the content you need, go deep on advancing your career or becoming a phenomenal manager or being yourself at your best. And we invite you to click through, play around, get the content you want. Welcome. And now, like I said that I have a special guest with us, we have, and I am introducing to us right now, Kathryn Britton. Hello, Kathryn.
Hey there, Senia.
So for people who don't know, Kathryn is a key part of SVC, of Silicon Valley Change. And this website that I've been showing you is MyCoach Tools, MyCoach by SVC. Kathryn, not only to doing a ton of sort of all of the behind the scenes work that I and Kathryn do and a few other people, she also did the categorization of these and said, hey, we've got this video and it needs to be shown in this category, in this way. So I'm going to ask Kathryn a few questions about what she's been thinking.
Okay.
Kathryn, so the first question is, why do this at all? Why categorize these videos? We have a search engine. We have a search button on our website. Google has a search engine. Why even put this into categories?
Well, Senia, I'm going to start out by letting you know that once upon a time, I got a degree in library science. And so I'm a bit of a closet librarian in that I've never been actually a professional librarian. I used that master's degree as a jumping off point to get into computer science. But one of the things you learn in library science is that people like to browse. Okay, so people like to find something, like, for example, you've got a book that you really like. You might go back to the library and you might look around it to say, oh, okay, I really like that author, or I really like that subject. I'd like to see other books that are like that one. So we had all of our tools set up on the website. Today, I think this is number 184 in a long list. So people could go through that long list. They could search, they could scroll down and they could look at things, but that's not really the way people want to find things. Think about going to a bookstore. If you go to a bookstore, you might go into the self-help section and look and see, well, what kind of books do they have in the self-help section? Or you might be interested in molecular biology, or in historical fiction, or whatever. You go look for the books that are around the ones that you want.
You and I both love children's books, so either you or I might go and look in that section.
You're right. And if the children's books were interfiled with the adult books, it would be really hard to find them. So the idea is to give people the ability to know of something that they're interested in, maybe one particular presentation they really liked, and then to be able to build out from there and find other things like it. So things that are around that are a little closer to it's easier to scan through maybe 5 to 10 videos than to scan through 184 to find what you want.
Yeah. So you're saying this was also part of your thinking in deciding how and what categories to build?
Yes. I mean, a long time ago, I learned how to catalog, and I actually got to put it to work here.
We're thrilled for that. Who else, when it's time to catalog almost 200 videos, has somebody who actually knows what they're doing? Phenomenal.
Well, it's one of the things I've often thought, that the internet actually needs some librarians. There's a few things librarians do. One of them is to get rid of stuff that's junk, but another one is to put some order into what's there so that people have an easier time finding it.
Kathryn, could you take us through one? I'll share the screen again. So this is the screen, and then I'll click, for example, actually, let me just make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see things kind of larger size. So if we're here, let's say someone's come to the website and they've clicked on the tools menu. Could you walk us through just one of them? Which one would you like? Advanced career or another one? Which one would you like?
Well, if you can make it just a little bit bigger.
Yep. In fact, I'll click on it so we can see the categories. Yeah.
We can use advanced career. That's great. One of the things that you'll notice here, I mean, first of all, the question, if you look at the pie chart, you'll see a series of questions that are related to what we mean by advanced career. But I think it's probably pretty clear to most people. How do I build my skills? How do I make the right contacts? How do I build executive presence? How do I find the opportunities to move my career forward? I think that's probably a pretty clear notion. But when we started looking at it, if we take 184, or in someday, if you keep going at this rate, you're going to have 300, right? If you take a whole bunch of videos like this, and divide it by 5, you still have a lot in each category. So we thought, well, let's see if we can break it down a little further. So we broke it down first into setting groundwork, then into taking action, and then we had this category that we actually could have put in a couple of different places in our tree, but we ended up deciding the best place was here, which is to know strengths. There are a lot of things, a lot of videos that we've had that are related to understanding your own personal strengths. And it seems like a very important thing to do to advance your career. If you don't know your strengths, it's hard to see how the world is going to help you put them to work.
Totally.
So we decided to break it down into these 3 categories, and then from there we broke it down into a further level of categories. Like, for example, set the groundwork. The first one here is talk with my manager. Being able to make sure your manager knows what you want to do with your career. to have those conversations is a really important step to get ready to move your career forward, as is building your network. And of course, building your network is one that is particularly close to my heart, because I actually have a great tool for that.
Mm-hmm.
So then you can see take action. Here are various things that you can do. You tell stories about impact, which is one of the categories that we've found a lot of our coaches talk about, how to tell stories to affect how a group understands what you're saying. Excuse me, we got a little frog in my throat there. All the way down through saying goodbye well, which is one of the things as you're moving forward on your career, you're going to be saying goodbye to some organizations. Maybe it'll be because you want to say goodbye. Maybe it'll be because you don't want to say goodbye, but you still have to. How do you do it well so that you keep your options open for the future? So as you can see, we've got categories here. Probably each one of these has between, say, 2 and 10 videos in it now, so that you can click through and see the video tools that are related to each of these topics.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So what you've just taken us through is if someone is on our main page and they've clicked on tools, and let's say they are interested in advancing their career. So Kathryn, you've just walked us to, first you can set the groundwork, then you probably want to start taking action to advance your career. And at the same time, to do this well, you probably want to know your strengths. And so here are some things that you can learn. So you've taken us through one of these categories. And as you speak about it, Kathryn, one question comes up that came up for me when I was asking you, hey, from a library cataloging point of view and from it being the best search experience for people who are on our site, should we ever, and do we have videos that might fit in 2 different categories? Because I could imagine that something that's an effective question might also be a great way to manage my time, for example. So what would you say to that? And I'll sort of show us in big picture so we can talk more like humans. Please go on.
Absolutely. In fact, most of the videos that we have appear in, say, 2 to 5 categories. And the reason is that, and this has always been the big problem with the way the work the librarians do, you might have a book that's about birds in South America. Well, it would be interesting to people who want to read about South America, as well as people who are reading about birds. And so then you're stuck, well, where do I put it? Well, mostly in libraries, what they do is put it in one place, and then they have a subject index that allows you to look for it via the other methods. In our case, what we do is just put it in multiple categories. So the same video may appear in multiple places because it's relevant to different topics. When you get to the page, are you going to go show that, Senia?
Yes,
okay, let's go show up one of these pages.
Yes. So, for example, I think I had shown motivate myself earlier because I thought, look, whatever we're doing at some point. Oh, and this is kind of ironic, Kathryn. The first video that comes up is you and me. But I will show that there are other people in the videos. It's not just me and Kathryn speaking about how to motivate myself. So yes, here are some.
Okay, so a couple of points to make here. These are the videos that we have been doing in this series, arranged from most frequent at the top down to or not most frequent, most recent at the top, down to the longest to go at the bottom. They have bullet points so that you can come in here and read some details about what each one is about, so that you can make a choice. Is this something I'm interested in or not? The other thing they have is that we are also publishing some of these articles, publishing some of these as LinkedIn articles, and we will make sure that that each of these, the set of bullet points, include a link to the LinkedIn article. So if you're the kind of person who says, I don't want to spend, 24 minutes listening to people talk about this, I just want to be able to skim through it. If we've written it up, you'll be able to do that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And as I ask, just before I ask you the last question, I will also ask those of you who are with us and who've been with us often, let us know if you have a comment, a takeaway, a question, a kudos to Kathryn for putting this together. Whatever you have, let us know in the comments as we are asking the last couple of questions of this session about our fancy schmancy, introducing the MyCoach tools. Dun, 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 dun. So Kathryn, my last question to you at this point, I think my last, maybe second to last, can you talk a little bit about this work from home toolkit?
Well, all of this effort was inspired by the fact that we all found ourselves working at home starting in March last year. I think what's the date of the very first video? Do you remember, Senia?
Something like April, Kathryn, something like that. Yeah, and it's because the coaches said, what can we do to help? I would love to say this was my idea, but the coaches said, hey, we're all at home. What can we do to help other people who are working from home?
Okay, so this particular category are things that we think that address some of the issues of working at home. And in particular, the first one, the work from home basics, how do you actually manage your time when you've got people coming into the room and knocking on the door and your pets are crawling over your feet and things of that sort, plus connecting on Zoom, getting your lighting and making sure you have your water and other points. Then one of the things that we found ourselves addressing frequently is the whole stress of this unusual situation that we're not used to. So there's a series of topics that are related to dealing with stress. One of them is sort of more proactive, that is increasing resilience, and the other is reactive, coping with the high stress. Building new skills and et cetera are things that you can do if you find a way of thinking about this time of working from home as an opportunity to do something different or to expand yourself in some way. And here are some suggestions about how to do that. And then, of course, there are both work and home relationships that are just different now that we're working from home all the time.
So please come and visit and play here. I'm going to the main page for a moment and just showing you, come and visit and play. This is our invitation to you to come and visit and play. And as we're closing out, I'll ask both me and Kathryn and me, I'll ask us the same question. I'll start with myself. What is a thought that you'd like to leave people with as we think about this idea of what we've done today, which is introducing the MyCoach tools? Then I'll start. These are some incredible coaches and business leaders and experts in what they do that I've had the honor to interview. They're amazing, and their content is really succinct. It's really clear with, here are the bullet points, here are the takeaways, this is what you need to try. If that's not working, try this. I've been really inspired myself in interviewing these coaches and business leaders. And I also know, I've heard from some of you, I'll just give two examples. One of you has been watching, you're probably on today, has been watching almost all of these every single day and taking notes. And you go and you review in your notebook every couple of weeks to make sure you've got these ideas fresh. Another one of you can't make this specific time, but watches every one a little later in the afternoon. I'm so grateful to you because you've given us the comments and the thoughts and the feedback and the questions when our guests are on. So I'm grateful to you who are giving us more edge on being cutting edge. And I can't even say grateful. I'm just so in awe of the guests that we've had on, the coaches, the business leaders. And that's what I want to leave everyone with. Kathryn?
I want to leave everyone with the acknowledgement that we're all different. And that one of the reasons that we don't have one tool or two tools or even 10 tools, but instead we have 180 and growing, is that we realize that people have different priorities, people are at different places in their careers, they have different personalities, they have different needs. So I invite you to come out and look around and find the answers that make sense to you and ignore the rest.
What a wonderful invitation. I really love that. Wonderful invitation. Kathryn, thank you so much for introducing these tools together with me. Thank you. This has been really fun.
It has been. Invite me back, Senia.
100%. Now, even now, this is an invitation. Come on back.
All right.
Thank you, everyone, for being with us. See you again sometime soon.